Well, hey, grace and peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Dezay. So today we're talking about Luke chapter 6, verses 27 to 38. I hope you're all doing out there, doing well today. It's kind of snowy. Kids were off school again today. So it's good to be in a warm house. Today's my Sabbath, so I'm somewhat lazy today. I take it easy and relax a little bit in the morning, drink an extra cup of coffee, but I tell you what, I really enjoyed this passage today. I enjoy every passage using this intersection Bible study method because it's just such a beautiful way to study the Bible. Hey, Kelsey, how are you doing? It's good to see you guys this morning. I know a lot of people are off work because of it's a holiday, President's Day, and a lot of people are off school today for that. And it's interesting. Today was a makeup day for Micah's school. And they end up having to cancel the makeup day. So they're going to be going like a week extra at the end of the year because of all the snow that we've had. All right, so let's jump in the passage today. Luke chapter 6, verses 27 to 38. We continue the Sermon on the Plain. So this is Luke's version of what Matthew refers to as Sermon on the Mount. So just instead of on a mountain, it's on a flat plain. Scholars believe it's the same sermon. Some scholars say it's different sermons. Either way, it continues after what we talked about last week, which is Jesus was giving out the Beatitudes, the blessings and the sorrows, or blessings and curses about his kingdom. His kingdom's upside down, as Pastor Jen shared yesterday in the sermon. His kingdom's upside down. It's very weird. And that weirdness continues into today's passage where Jesus says the weirdest thing of all, love your enemies. And that's weird to us. It was weird to people then. There was Roman guards standing around. Roman guards were very much trying to keep the Jews in line. Jesus says, love your enemies. And that means, in that context, it would have been the Romans, it would have been the religious leaders who are oppressing the poor, etc., etc. Love your enemies. That's shocking. So that's the first thing, love your enemies, and how shocking that would have been. The idea of love is action. He says things like bless, pray, do good. He talks about possessions as being a way to love, like give your possessions, don't ask for them back, things like that. So possessions, material things have a way for us to be able to love others. And so there's very much action oriented in that love. We look through the idea of us versus them. In God's kingdom, it is all us, and everybody's invited to be a part. And so we treat people, we love them because they are created in the image of God. They have the fingerprints of God in them just as much as we do. So Jesus is telling his followers, hey, love these other people. Let them know that God loves them by the way that we love them. The second thing that stood out was this golden rule that we refer to often: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Jesus puts this in the context of loving enemies. He says, hey, treat everybody, not just insiders, the way that you want to be treated, but treat everybody, insiders and outsiders. Treat them like you want to be treated, so that everybody is included in this weird upside down kingdom that Jesus is inaugurating, right? So, which is really cool when you stop and think about it. Jesus is saying, hey, this is for everybody. Love everybody. Love the enemies, love the Romans, love the using for us. I mean, we live in a world that is very much about us versus them. Let's build a wall to separate each other. Now, I'm not referring to what we're doing in America with the wall, but it's a mentality that we have. Let's separate ourselves. Let's protect ourselves from the enemy. And Jesus says, no, bless the enemy. Bless those that are different than you. Bless the Gentiles. Bless the Romans. It's just interesting stuff, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because everybody is created in the image of God. And then the third thing that jumped out to me, and believe me, there is a lot of stuff in this passage. We could list a million things, right? But the one thing that jumped out to me was this idea that God is merciful. And so that's the why we should love our enemies. God loves everybody, and in him is the nature of love. So as followers of this God of love, we are called to love others. It's because God himself is merciful. He treats us with mercy, so we as his followers treat others with mercy. So that's the why behind this passage. Why do we love our enemies? Because God loves our enemies. Why do we love people that are different than us? Because God loves people that are different than us. God loves everybody. And so we should not view people as a them. We should view people as an us. Let's love one another as God loves us. So the application for me this as I read this passage is, how is God calling me to bless others? Bless is an action word. So this week, as I look at my week, how is God asking me to bless others? Whether that be enemies, whether that people that are inside the church, whether that be people outside the church. How is God calling me to bless others? It reminds me of that sermon series that we did last summer called Bless. And you never know, that might pop up in the sermon this week. We are called to bless and love others. So there isn't us versus them. There's just us. I got a t-shirt for Christmas that says that. It says us versus them, and it crosses out them, and underneath it writes us. And that pretty much is the weird message of the kingdom. Anyway, that's it. I'm babbling. I hope you're having a great day. Stay warm out there. And a lot of people listening, so it's pretty cool. Kelsey says it goes along with my prayer last night. That's awesome. I love when God brings all these things to light, allows the intersections in our life to filter up. You know, the message is all one message. The story of God from beginning to end tells about a God of love who is redeeming all things and invites us to participate in that love. So have a great day, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with Corinthians again. We continue that sermon to the letter to that church. It's messed up. Kind of reminds me of us, right? We're all kind of messy. But have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Grace and peace.